Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So as you likely have noticed, my uploads have been very sparse as of late. I've not been uploading very frequently whatsoever with no sort of routine or kind of schedule in any way, shape, or form. And I wanted to kind of just talk a little bit about that. Obviously, when it comes to summertime, I do tend to kind of slow down my uploads anyways, but there are some other bigger picture things that have been kind of going on. So I wanted to just sit down, reconnect, chat through those things. I'm going to be doing my makeup today, although I'm likely not going to be talking about the products, but I might a little bit here and there. Let's just hang out. I've got my coffee. It's time to do my makeup. So yeah, maybe you feel like grabbing a snack, hanging out, doing your makeup too. I think that would be a lot of fun. So let's just get right on into it. So I have absolutely no plan of what kind of makeup look I'm going to do today. However, I do think it's just gonna stay relatively neutral because I am going to a baby shower today and I just want to not really have to think about my makeup, if that makes sense. I just want to be able to enjoy the party, you know? So just gonna do something pretty simple, but pulled together. So as I said in the introduction, I typically do end up kind of slowing down my uploads in the summertime, especially since we bought a house just under 2 years ago now. And that's because we always love to be doing outdoor projects, doing some sort of like fixing up of our property. And that takes up a lot of time. That is something that takes a lot of time and energy, and it requires weekends and evenings. I do already work a full-time job in addition to just uploading on YouTube whenever kind of time allows. But yeah, time has just not really allowed as of late because I've just been really excited that the summer weather is here. That means I want to spend as much time outside as possible. And our house and property actually is quite old, so it has a lot of mature growth of really bad plants and some invasive species. I have been on a journey of trying to eliminate Japanese knotweed since we moved into this house, and there is very minimal of that remaining on the property, which is amazing. But now I'm kind of working my way into the other more established gardens and basically just trying to reset them and kind of start them over and plant more native perennial plants so that in the future, these gardens can just thrive on their own. They don't need as much maintenance in the future, ideally. I kind of feel like using my Sigma New Mod palette again because this is just such a beautiful, easy, kind of everyday sort of palette. So that's what I'm using on my eyes for today's look. It's just gonna keep it pretty wearable, I think. That's just been my major priority. Last summer, we ended up doing 2 of our fences, and actually this coming weekend, we're going to be doing another fence with one of our other neighbors. So most of the fences on our property are now gonna all be like matching and all brand new, and we are doing all that work on our own. That's not something that we get other people to do. Pretty much any renovation sort of thing in this household, we do it ourselves. So it does require a lot of time and energy, and basically any free time I have has been kind of allotted to that kind of stuff. Home improvement sort of stuff, which I love. I really do enjoy doing it. So while that kind of explains why my channel has been a little bit of a lower priority for me as of late, it doesn't really explain why I've been inconsistent even leading up to these warmer months. Even in like March and April when it was cooler, the days were shorter, I wasn't doing as much physically demanding kind of stuff. I wasn't spending time outside. I still was really inconsistent, and that's because I had been dealing with some pretty severe mental and physical kind of health concerns. For the last maybe year or so, I've had really painful cramps and inconsistent periods and just like really unpredictable situations related to my reproductive system. And at the beginning of this year, it just became debilitating. It really did. It became unpredictable to the point where like I didn't want to make any kind of plans. If today was Wednesday, let's say, I didn't want to make plans for Saturday because I really didn't know how I was going to feel. And so I just I just wasn't making any kind of plans. I was just living day by day, hoping that the next day I would feel better, because I was just in so much discomfort, so much pain. Like, it wasn't necessarily correlated to my period. It wasn't necessarily correlated to things that I ate. It just really felt like I was at the whim of my body, and that did take a massive toll on my mental health. I wouldn't say that I've always been a very like mentally healthy or mentally stable kind of person, but this was the most severe I'd say that my mental health concerns have been. I really was just so down. I felt so drained. I just felt so consumed by my pain that it just caused so much mental anguish for me as well. And I couldn't get on camera and kind of work with that. I couldn't just pretend that wasn't the case, if that makes sense. I would say that through the majority of my life, I've actually had like high functioning anxiety. I've definitely been a very anxious person. That's kind of what makes me strive to do really well when it comes to like school and work is anxiety. So it can be not necessarily a positive motivator, but it's something that I've been able to live with. But the anxiety that was tied to my physical body and my just uncertainty in my body was really detrimental to me. And then on top of that, I did end up getting a lot more responsibility at work at the exact same time as like really dealing with the height of my physical pain. And I just felt constantly at my capacity for a while there. I felt like I could barely make it through a day without having a panic attack or several panic attacks. It just was nonstop, this feeling of a lot of burden when it came to work, a lot of responsibility when it came to work, and then also feeling like I need to deal with my physical health. I need to figure out what's going on with my body, but just not really finding the time to be able to deal with both of those things. And so, as I said, YouTube just kind of ends up being the thing that falls off when everything else is going on at full speed. And so I ended up booking an appointment with my family doctor because my depression and my anxious tendencies just became much more inflated and really severe, and I didn't have any sort of control in any way, shape, or form over my mental state at all. And it was definitely driven by those physical issues for sure. So I booked an appointment with my family doctor, and I was really nervous to do so, but I'm so happy that I did decide to do it. And I'm happy because it allowed me to uncover something that makes sense. And I'm really upset that I didn't know it beforehand, but it was good to feel like I had an answer in some ways. So 6 years ago, I actually had a surgery where I had an ovarian cyst that was removed. I had a really sizable one that was causing me so much discomfort, so much pain. But the pain that I was experiencing now, like most currently, did not feel similar to that, but that was something that was kind of in the back of my mind when I made this appointment and when I was feeling so out of control. And my doctor said, well, when you had your ovarian cyst removed, there was evidence of endometriosis. And I was in shock because that had never been communicated to me. That was 6 years ago. And the gynecologist who did the surgery and my family doctor, who I had several follow-up appointments with after the surgery was performed, neither of them had said that to me. That's something I would remember. So it just never was mentioned. And it totally makes sense why I've been feeling so much pain in my abdomen, in my uterus, in my ovaries, like feeling this pain. It just kind of made sense. It offered a lot more clarity to me, but this was something that was really detrimental to my mental health as well, is like the fact that I didn't know that for 6 years, I'm happy now that I know, and I wish that I had known sooner, but I am happy now that I know. And in that appointment as well, I ended up being prescribed an antidepressant, and I have been on that now for a couple of months. I have been on antidepressants in the past as well, and this time around, I'm a lot more consistent with taking them, and I have noticed a huge improvement in my mental health. But part of that for sure is that I've just been prioritizing other things in my life too. So I am going to therapy now too, which is something that I've done in the past. I was not really like an active participant in. I just kind of did it because, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to vent, but I didn't actually do the work to like improve myself, if that makes sense, or like, you know, work on kind of coping mechanisms, or like work on actually like diving deep into like emotional kind of issues that I have from my past. But this time around, I'm like really, really active in it, and I'm really, really working hard. And I do think that the medication in tandem with that is helping me so, so much. I've also been going for pretty regular massages, and my massage therapist is just an angel, like a true freaking miracle. She thoroughly understands like the inner workings of the body so well that she knows how to kind of work to really help alleviate the pain of my endometriosis. And there, like the last time I went to see her, I didn't have pain for an entire week, and it was incredible. I have also recently started on progesterone, which helps to alleviate the pain of endometriosis, and it has really improved my physical state as well. I think having this improvement and this balance in my mental health and working on my physical health in tandem with it has just been massively, massively life-changing for me. And I'm so happy that I decided to go to my family doctor when I did, because that was kind of during the winter time, during like, you know, when my life is a little bit more of a slow pace, just given the cooler weather. And now I'm at this place where I feel physically capable again to do those things that I want to do. So like I said, we're going to be building a fence again like next weekend. And 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I don't think that I would have felt like I could make that commitment in any way. And in fact, I probably actually would not have been able to do it on the day of either, because there have been times when I was in too much pain to just even take my dog Pepper around the block. Like, and I love to walk her. So all of this to say that I'm definitely feeling much more like physically and mentally capable of just doing things in general. And so I have been prioritizing that. I've been ensuring that I'm doing the things that I need to do. So it has been really, really, really good for me. But unfortunately, YouTube just seems to fall by the wayside when the other things kind of are allowed to be done. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that, but when there's space and opportunity for me to do the other things. So I really want to find myself back in a routine when it comes to filming. I really want to find myself in this routine where maybe like right after work or maybe on my lunch break or something, I might be able to film. I might be able to edit. I don't know. It is hard because I work full-time from my computer all day, 9 to 5 all day. And sometimes the last thing that I want to do is sit and just look at my own face for like an hour or 2 hours to edit a video. And so I just don't. So I just don't do it. I'd rather be doing literally anything else sometimes. And I love actually sharing videos with you, but yeah, the process of editing them sometimes for me can just be a little bit draining, to be honest. My goal is to get myself back to a state where I'm filming and editing at least one video and posting, I should say, one video every single week. I do think that's completely attainable. It's just right now I'm just leaning into doing the things that require my physical abilities. But I do feel like actually all of these things, all of this that I'm going through and where I am now, especially because of what I've been through recently, is for the best. It's actually all completely positive. The fact that I've decided to go back to therapy really regularly and be like really active in it and really working to kind of better myself and give myself the ability to better cope with stresses is hugely important. And while being on this journey, like right now in particular, I have kind of noticed something that I likely would not have done in years past, in previous times of kind of being in a very downward spiral, like I feel like I was for a while there. I noticed something that I'm really, really proud of, and that's that I didn't fall into bad purchasing habits like I most definitely have in the past as a coping mechanism. And that's something that I didn't really notice when I was in it, but I've noticed it now that I've come out of it. Is I used to always just kind of like purchase things to fill a need, really to give myself that dopamine hit. I would purchase things and buy new stuff to just kind of like give myself a little bit of a thrill, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of something to look forward to. And I didn't actively tell myself like I can't be doing that, other than the fact that I decided to be on a no buy at the beginning of this year. But I did not ever feel like I just wanted to buy something for the sake of temporary happiness. And for me, that is massive growth. And I look back and I'm like, wow, like I didn't just impulsively buy makeup, and I didn't just feel like I needed like things to make me feel better. I think that's huge improvement, and that's something that I'm really happy to look back on and to realize. I do also just want to say, I think for most people, they'll understand it and they'll see it in this way, but I feel like it needs to be said. I'm not filming this video in an act of trying to find sympathy or, you know, make anyone feel sorry for me or whatever. I'm actually not doing it for that. I'm filming this video just to kind of just reconnect and to reestablish kind of where I'm at so you can better understand my mindset, because when I do sit down and talk about the status of my no buy, I feel like I can't really provide a ton of context because those videos end up being really lengthy. But if there's one key takeaway that you can take away from this and actually like use in your life, it's that you need to advocate for yourself, advocate for your health, your mental health, your physical health. They go hand in hand. And, you know, no one else is going to show up for you when it comes to that. I truly feel like if I had not gone to my doctor and kind of brought up these two issues of my mental health and my physical health, I wouldn't have learned something that is already documented, like something that's already known in my health records that I was not aware of. And it really did open up a lot of understanding for me. But, you know, I was willing to do tests. I've had ultrasounds done since then, and I do actually have 2 more cysts on my ovaries that are notable, but I'm hoping that they'll just kind of resolve themselves. And I feel so much more at ease just knowing that I'm understanding what's happening inside. I have given myself the tools to better be able to feel at ease and to feel, you know, like I can take this on, whatever ends up coming my way, by getting on medication. Although that was something that was really not a fun decision to make. I really didn't want to. It really was the best decision for myself. And again, attending therapy and just investing in myself when it comes to massages and that kind of stuff, it just really has improved my quality of life so severely and in such a short amount of time. Things for me at work, unfortunately, are still very busy. I have taken on a lot more than I really should have when it comes to work. In fact, my team grew from, I was really working with 3 developers on pretty much an everyday basis to 2 additional team members, 1 more developer and a designer. And so I just ended up, I'm a project manager, if you're not familiar, a web project manager. So all of a sudden I have a lot more responsibility and need to create more work for more people, which means more work for me. And so yeah, it's definitely been a huge adjustment period for me. And further to that, I really do think that I have some semblance of seasonal affective disorder, because truly the second the days are sunny and the days are longer, I do become pretty much a new person. And so we have been in the darkest times of the year and my mental health was struggling the most then. And now, of course, like there's been a lot of aid that has gotten me to this point, but I'm feeling much more sane and stable. And the days are longer as well. So I do think those things kind of go hand in hand. So you're probably wondering, what does all of this mean for my channel moving forward, and my Instagram as well? What does this mean for it? I really don't know, but I am going to try my best to at least have 1 upload a week. I think that's the bare minimum, but I think that's all that I can give in this moment, is the bare minimum, because I want to be always putting out content that I'm happy with. Like visually, I want to be happy with the way that my camera looks. I want to be happy with the way that my audio sounds. I want to be happy with the actual like content of the video. I don't want to just put out stuff for the sake of having a volume of uploads. And in order to be able to give it my all, I think I just need to stick to 1 upload a week for the immediate future. Potentially that will go up higher. Potentially I will sneak in a couple extra uploads here and there. It all just kind of depends on where I'm at in that moment. And so I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has kind of stuck around, who is commenting on my videos and watching them and just, you know, enjoying my content when it does come out. I really do appreciate that so much. It really means so much more than you know. I know I say it pretty often in my videos, but I really do mean it. Like, you don't even understand like how much this really does mean to me, to have this community and to have your support and to just kind of have this outlet, but also to have this space where I can have these kinds of conversations. Sometimes it's surface level and all we're talking about is makeup, but there are times when I've kind of come on here and been a little bit more vulnerable and talked about things that are scary to kind of share on the internet. Like, my voice has been a little shaky in today's video here and there because this is something that makes me feel very uneasy, but I know that my community is very supportive and I know that you'll understand what I'm going through. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking some time in your day, maybe doing your makeup with me, maybe you're drinking your coffee or taking your lunch break or something like that. Like, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time from your own day to be with me and to listen to what is happening in my life and what I've been going through. So if you take anything away from this video whatsoever, I really hope that you just look at this kind of scenario as an example that it is so important to invest in yourself, time, financially. I know that those things can both be really, really difficult, but it is so important to ensure that you are investing what you can into yourself to make sure that you can be the best version of you that's possible. I really was not feeling at my best. I'm not sure that I'm there yet either, but I'm working towards that. I'm really working towards that, and that feels good, and that's something that is so undermined and so undervalued in our society. You know, your productivity at your job is kind of valued more than your mental health and your sanity, but you cannot be productive at work. You cannot be productive and fulfilled at home if you're not fulfilled in yourself and if you're not feeling at your best. So yeah, I am rambling so hard. I am so sorry for the lengthiness and probably the repetition of today's video, but I'm gonna wrap that up because I am now ready. My makeup is done. I'm loving the way the look came together. How about you? But yes, truly, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. It really means so much. But that, my friends, is absolutely everything. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for hanging out with me. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.